Hello, what is up? What is up? I just installed my microphone just now, ladies and gentlebots. Let me know if there is any problem with the microphone today. I do believe that I got my microphone's volume set up right, so we shouldn't have any problems with that. But just wanted to check and make sure that microphone is working okay and is loud enough, and I'm not like hella low on the microphone settings. So checking out chat right now, we've got Shadow Killer, we've got Risky Business, Blam Crotch, and Simplex. It says, yo, voice good, content loud. Okay, cool. So, oh, you know what? See, I turned my mic to maximum the last time. And so you know what happened, guys, the last time when my mic was super low? Check this out. I went into my mic settings and it was 40%. My mic level was down to 40%. No wonder it was so freaking quiet. And I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't change anything. I didn't alter anything. But that is what happened. It was down to 40%. So now we're up to like 98%. So it is all gravy, baby. So we're ready to go. Okay, so let me go ahead and do like a little proper intro. Welcome to VR365. What is going on, everybody? Today, I'm going to be talking about the Oculus Quest 2. And I think you're going to be a little bit surprised about my take on the Oculus Quest 2. Now that I've had a couple of days to let everything soak in and to understand what has happened this week and what is going on this week. So that's what we're going to get into today in a major sort of a way. But one thing I did want to mention at the very beginning of this show is if you are planning on pre-ordering an Oculus Quest 2 from Amazon, and if you live in the USA, check the show notes for this show because I have a link to the $299 version and also the $399 version. I have Amazon links where if you were to pre-order your Oculus Quest 2 via one of these links, I might get like $1 from that. You know, so it's like you support VR365. And hopefully I'm not breaking any kind of rules or anything by saying this, but the thing of the matter is, I love it. I really love it when someone can support VR365 for doing something they were going to do anyways. You know what I mean? Which is why I like the fact that if you have Amazon Prime on Twitch, you can use your Twitch sub to give me a couple of bucks every month, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Because there's lots of people that have like a subscription to Amazon Prime, but they're not using their Twitch Prime sub for anything. So might as well, you know, help support VR365. Well, this is another example. If you're going to pre-order from Amazon and you haven't done it already, I know everybody's already done it already. So who the hell... By the way, did you guys see that banana? Did you guys see that banana in the Population 1 trailer? I'm wondering... Is anybody at Big Box VR a big VR365 fan? Because what is that banana doing in there? Did anybody else think that the very first time they saw this trailer? Because I saw that banana, I'm like, whoa, these guys must really be into VR365. Probably not. Probably not, but I do have my backup banana. Yeah, for those that don't know, bananas are a big part of this show. And that banana... Let me tell you, this banana is here for a reason, folks. I don't have this banana here just for shits and giggles. This banana is break in case of an emergency. And it's one of the reasons I've started this episode at like 5:45. I was going to wait till like 6 or 6:15 or something. But I'm like, I'm going to get hungry. It's like going to be dinner time over here in California. By the way, you know how I was saying Sacramento is smoke-a-mento? Not anymore, bro. Not anymore. We've got clear skies, relatively, as clear as it gets, basically, in Sacramento. So a lot of the smoke has traveled elsewhere, and that is a beautiful thing. But yeah, Banana is here and ready to go. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about, both about the Oculus Quest 2 and also about a lot of games that have been announced and things that are going on. It is an exciting time, ladies and gentlemen, in this world of VR gaming. It is a really exciting time, but I want to start off and get into the Quest thing. And let's see here. Yeah, so let's switch over here. Oh, by the way, this little trailer that you guys are seeing over here, I took footage from basically all the big YouTubers, all the massive YouTubers out there, all the YouTube superstars. I've grabbed some of your YouTube vids, grabbed a couple little snippets of the video, and chopped it all up. Chop-a-lop styly, bro. And now here's the thing. Maybe one of these guys like Tyriel, maybe Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis, there he is. Maybe Nathy, maybe Cass and Cherry. Maybe somebody's going to see this and be like, dude, Anthony, why are you still in my video, bro? Like, there's Nathy on the screen right there. He might be like, bro, why are you still in my video? So if anybody's really pissed off about that, any of these YouTubers, hit me up and I will edit your stuff out of this. I just wanted some background B-roll footage. I was not sent an Oculus Quest. There's your boy Tyriel. By the way, Tyriel Wood, swear to God, homie, your beauty shots of the Quest 2 were the best of everybody. No offense to any of the other high quality YouTubers. They all did a freaking outstanding job. But Tyriel Wood, I gotta tell you, the lighting and the effects, and then having like a Quest 2 just sitting on the table so perfectly, it just looks gorgeous. Great job there, Tyriel Wood. But yeah, if any of you YouTubers don't like the fact that I stole your stuff, please don't sue me. I can't afford lawyers, so please don't do that. But just say, dude, cease and desist, and I'll edit it out of there. But here's the thing, guys. I wanted to get into the real deal about the Oculus Quest and kind of what my thoughts are. And I'm going to switch like this really quick because I want to talk about the fact that I was triggered. I was triggered, ladies and gentlemen, when this first thing happened. And I don't know if you guys saw me on like MRTV or even going back to the first day when like everything kind of broke and I had some special guests on. You know, I was kind of like mad and kind of like, I can't believe this. But, you know, I was like complaining for Oculus Quest 1 owners, saying that they got boned. And then at the same time, I was also saying, dude, Oculus, if you're going to do this, then go all in, man. Go all in. Don't half-ass this shit. Go all in. But here's the thing. I've got a different opinion on the whole entire thing. And I'll tell you guys why I was triggered and why it's much ado about nothing. It is much ado about nothing. So the thing is, I was triggered because of the name. The name Oculus Quest 2. I heard the name Oculus Quest 2 and I heard Snapdragon XR2. And so when you combine those two things, Oculus Quest 2, dude, this is the Oculus Quest 2. And then you combine Snapdragon XR2, I was like, whoa, dude, this is freaking unbelievable. This really is the Quest 2. This really is the freaking Quest 2. This is not like a slight upgrade. This is the Quest 2. And that's what triggered me. Because when I thought it was really a Quest 2, what I thought was, well, all the Quest 1 people got boned. Their shit is obsolete 480 days later. And then not only did all the Quest 1 people get boned, but kind of a double whammy, Oculus is like not fully taking advantage of the Quest 2 and they don't really have exclusive games and they didn't add all this other shit to their headset and all of that. And so I was kind of in this like bad mood about this whole thing and I was kind of like the contrarian. I'm sure people that were watching MRTV stream were like, who is this jackass? Get him off the screen. He's talking a lot of negativity. We don't want to hear that negativity. Get him off of here. But the truth of the matter is I was triggered. I thought this was a legit Quest 2. So the reality is, this is not the Quest 2. The real problem that we have here, and that's the number one negative. By the way, guys, I wanted to make some nice little screens where I would list out all the negatives. Didn't have time to do it. So I have what's called paper. This is straight up paper, right? I've got positives and I've got negatives. Okay, and it printed on the back. Trippy. Okay, so the number one, let's start with the negative, man. Let's go negative, because I'm negative Nancy, right? Like, I'm that asshole. I'm that triggered asshole. So let's go ahead and lean right into it. My number one negative is Facebook made a tactical error. A tactical error by calling this thing Oculus Quest 2. This is not the Quest 2. This is not the Quest 2. I repeat, can you read my lips? Not the Quest 2. This is not what you thought it was. Now, it was a great fake. Like, they totally faked my ass out with the XR2 Snapdragon. Like, that sealed the deal. I was like, Quest 2, whoa, Quest 2. But then XR2 Snapdragon? Oh shit, this really is Quest 2. But if we dig deeper into the weeds, what we will understand is the truth of the matter is there's very little about this thing that is Quest 2. Like, let's think about it. What is inside this thing that would make it a Quest 2 other than the XR2 processor? I'll answer the question. Nothing. Nothing. There is nothing in this thing that is Quest 2 other than that processor. Not the screen. I mean, the screen is a nice improvement, but that ain't what you expect from a Quest effing 2. Also, the cameras, like the tracking cameras, the pass-through, there's no new technology there. They're the same old 640 by 480 monochromatic old-ass cameras that they used on the Quest 1. There's no super advanced technology here. This isn't going to be doing live maps. This isn't going to be tracking your cheekbone muscles. There's no advanced tech in here other than the XR2 chip. So the number one negative is Facebook made a tactical error by calling it the Quest 2, because what happened is it triggered one individual YouTuber that is located in Sacramento, California. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to trigger this one asshole because he's got a big yapper and he will not stop yapping. So somebody might ask me, well, Anthony, what should they have called it in all of your wisdom? What should they have called this? Well, they could have called it the Quest Deluxe, Oculus Quest Deluxe, Oculus Quest Plus, Oculus Quest S, Oculus Quest Ultra. I don't know, but you put number 2? You're going to put number 2 on the end of the title? You give off a false impression. So what this really is, this is a Quest 1.5 for all intents and purposes. The only thing is they shoved an XR2 up in there at the last possible second. But this is really a Quest 1.5. So that's my number one negative. It's the whole reason I was triggered and I was like, going crazy in all these different respects, because I thought this really was a Quest 2. And it caught me off guard. So let's go to the positive side of the coin, right? We started off negative. Let's go positive. All right, so the number one positive, and this is without any shadows of any doubts, the number one positive, of course, is the incredible price. Like, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. I've got a lot of complaints and a lot of issues about a lot of different things related to this. I've got a lot of smack to talk about this headset, but the one smack that I don't have is the friggin' price. $299.99. That is pretty freaking incredible. I used to think that the Oculus Quest 1 at $399 was pretty freaking amazing in and of itself. But you drop $100, you get to $299.99, and it's an entirely new catalog of people that you can sell this to. So there's these psychological price points that we have inside our heads Studies have been done on this. I've been a video game nut job since the days of the Atari. Back in the late 70s, man, I was playing Atari, okay? And I've covered the video game market as an enthusiast ever since then. And you know what? There are certain price points where you hit a particular price point and it opens up the product to an entirely new market of people. There's certain people out there, they see the price $3.99 and it's like, it doesn't even register in their brain. Like that, they're like $3.99, they just walk on by. You price it at $2.99 and some people are like, $2.99. Now, of course, the real magic happens at $199. There is some special magic that happens at $199.99. This has been proven in the video game market. Just look in the history of video game annals. When a console ends up getting to $199, it just starts flying off the shelves like you wouldn't believe. And $299, I mean, obviously we're $100 higher than that, but that's incredible. To get it down to this price, you are now opening it up to an entire new segment of the population. And that is really important, and that is very special. Let's go back to the negatives, though. But yeah, price, I mean, that is incredible. Okay, so the number 2 negative, besides them triggering me with the name Oculus 2, the number 2 negative is comfort, bro. Comfort. I thought we agreed that the number 1 problem with the Oculus Quest, the one thing that they needed to fix above everything else, was comfort. That's the one thing that they needed to fix with this thing, right? It's all about the comfort. Like, if all they did was take an existing Quest and somehow make it comfortable, they don't need to add anything. No new screen, no new XR2, no redesigned controllers, none of this stuff. Just the standard bare bones Quest 1, but make it comfortable as F. Like, take the battery, move it to the back, redesign the thing, and make it comfortable as hell. Isn't that the number 1 complaint that everybody had with Quest 1? Okay, and so let's talk about comfort for a quick second here, because the thing about comfort, I remember a long time ago, I heard that this was like 20% lighter or 15% lighter, 20% smaller, or 15% smaller, 20% lighter. So we get the actual statistics. It's 10% lighter. Now, does anybody think 10% means jack diddly? No, it doesn't mean much of anything. 10% is unperceivable, man. Like, you're not going to notice 10%. That's just not enough for anybody to actually notice the difference in weight. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are saying. Wait a minute, Anthony. Wait a minute. You don't get it, man. They've provided all these accessories. They've got the deluxe elite head strap. They've got the elite head strap with the battery pack, and you get a free bag and all these other things. That's great and all, but remember, who is this thing targeted to? It's not targeted to the hardcore enthusiasts, man. We got to get this through our thick effing skulls. It's not about the enthusiast market is not going to make or break this product. It's the average Joe Schmo. That's going to make or break this product. The Sally Walmarts of the world, the soccer moms, the everyday people, man, everyday people, right? They are going to make or break this product. And your everyday person is going to go to Walmart, or they're going to, hopefully they get in Target now. Target, what is up, bro? Like, Oculus, you need to get your shit up in Target. Okay, so someone's going to go to Walmart, Target, Best Buy, or whatever. That's where Joe Schmoes go. Like, Joe Schmoes aren't even online that much. I mean, they are online a little bit, but they're mostly on Facebook, right? So it's going to work out perfectly for them. They've already got the account. No big deal. But the thing is, they're going to go to Walmart, or they're going to go to Costco or Best Buy, and they're going to buy the $299 dirt cheap version because that's what a Joe Schmo does. And they're not going to think about accessories. That's not what a Joe Schmo does. So Oculus, if you really wanted to deal with the comfort issue, which was the absolute number one freaking issue with this thing, then why not like ship the thing with the Elite strap? Ship it with the Elite strap in the box, and actually ship it where it's already got the Elite strap. It's got the Elite strap already pre-installed, and offer the other strap in case somebody wants it to be a lot smaller and they want to take it to go, and they don't care, or somebody that has a much smaller head where it's not hurting them or whatever. But they could have packaged the Elite strap up in there, raised the price $50. It'd be $349.99, and then maybe they would actually be at a place of comfort with this thing. But they didn't do anything about the comfort. They didn't do anything about the comfort. 10% reduction in weight is nothing, man. It's nothing. They didn't put the battery on the back. And you know what? What about this, guys? So they have one that has the battery integrated into the back. So they've shown they can integrate the battery into the back. Why didn't they just design the thing like that from the freaking Jump Street with no little wire coming out the side, no wire coming out there? Freaking have it integrated. Imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. You get an Oculus Quest 2. Okay, somebody that is very industrious, that likes to take things apart and jerry-rig stuff. Imagine somebody takes an Oculus Quest 2 and actually removes the battery from inside the main unit itself, and they wire it up so that that Elite head strap with the battery in the back is actually powering the unit. So now all of a sudden you've just removed like, I don't know how many grams of weight. You just dropped like another 150 grams of weight by not having that battery up there in the front, and you've got it perfectly integrated into the back. Solution has been solved, man. Like they could have did that to solve the comfort. Look, it's a long story and I don't know, but they did not solve the comfort. I dare anybody to tell me they solved the comfort. You don't solve the comfort with accessories. I'm sorry. That doesn't solve it. That does not solve it, because your target market is not going to buy that shit. The vast majority of them are going to buy what's in the box, and they're never going to look twice at any accessory page. That's just the reality, man. All right, let's go back to the positive side of the coin, bro. I can play both sides of the fence here, and let's talk positivity. Okay, so number 2. So the next biggest positive besides price, which is incredible, just incredible VR. That price is pretty freaking fantastic. But number 2 is the screen, 1832 by 1920 per eye. Kills screen door dead. Not quite killing screen door dead, but pretty goddamn good, right? This is going to look pretty good when we get our hands on this and we see it in the headset. Screen door, for all intents and purposes, is going to be very hard to locate screen door. Now, there's going to be certain games, certain situations, certain backdrops where you're still going to see screen door. I think, honestly, we need to get to 2880 by 2880 per eye, and at that point, it's going to get incredibly difficult to see any kind of screen door whatsoever. And then when we get into like 3,000 and something by 3,000 and something, that will probably be the end of screen door as we know it. So you're still going to see a little bit of screen door in this thing, but visually it's going to be pretty freaking badass. So that is great news. It's a really good screen. I pre-ordered one of these immediately. In fact, not only that, I've pre-ordered two of these puppies, primarily because I pre-ordered originally from Oculus, and then later Amazon was up and running. I had a $100 gift card, so I tried to grab one from Amazon. What am I going to do with two of these things? I don't know. One of them's probably going to come prior to the other one. I'm going to have to figure it out. Maybe I'll have some kind of contest and give one away. I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to try to sell it for a profit. I don't do that anymore because I've found out every time I've done that, I'm driving home, my transmission goes out. I always bring up the transmission thing. It is karma like a mofo. Like, for example, if you ever go to an auto mechanic place and you're like, yeah, I got a problem with my transmission, what they're going to say, oh, karma, man, you stole something, right? Yeah, you stole something. Yeah, it happens. Everybody tells us that. Whenever they get their transmission fixed, it's always a karma thing. But yeah, the screen is freaking pretty awesome. I mean, it's pretty damn good. Now, everybody's wondering, why is it 1832 by 1920? This is such an oddball resolution. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, it actually makes perfect sense, to be honest, because basically that's not the real panel. You don't double the 1832 by 1920 and say that that's the actual panel. What they're doing here is they're doing some mathematics to show what the perceivable resolution is for each individual user that is at the individual IPD settings, because it's a fixed single panel screen. So you're moving the lenses, so you're not using the entire screen. So the entire resolution of the panel is not addressable. So I do believe that the resolution of this panel is not actually doubling 1832 by 1920. I believe it is a higher resolution. Not exactly sure what it is, but they can't use all of it. So they're not going to do false advertising and say it's 2160 by 2160 or something like that, because they're unable to use all of that because of the mechanism that they're using there. But yeah, it's a positive. I mean, the screen is great. The reason I bought one of these things is because I have a hope, ladies and gentlemen, that this could be the solution that I'm looking for from a standpoint of needing to have an Oculus headset in my lineup. I feel like I need to have an Oculus headset because there's too many exclusives and Revive and using the wrong controllers and all of that. I feel like it is absolutely mandatory to own an Oculus headset. If you're a hardcore VR enthusiast, you have to have an Oculus headset of some type. I don't care if it's a Rift S, I don't care if it's a CV1, I don't care if it's a Quest 1, but you want to have the real native controllers, and you want to be in that ecosystem. You want to be signed in with Facebook. You want to be all in, baby. But I want to have one because, I just want to have that real thing. And then having this higher resolution headset, I'm hoping everything will look better, and I don't know. I mean, I might prefer using this over my Valve Index, which sounds batshit insane, but it's possible. It's possible. Now, a lot of that's going to depend on some other things that we're going to be talking about soon. So we'll go ahead and wait for that, won't we? Okay, so let's go back to the negative side of the coin. So yeah, I talked about the Quest 2 moniker. Bad idea, Zuck. Bad idea. Comfort not solved at all. I'm sorry. You're not going to get that from me. And anybody that spins this as they solve the comfort, stop it. Stop it. Don't spin it like that. Okay, so number 3. This one, huge, Johnny. This one is major. This is major, number 3. Okay, so number 3 is many users are likely to have a compromised experience if their IPD is not 63 or really close to 63. Okay? Now, why do I say this? I say this because, first of all, I watched every review video out there, right? And I also watched Carmack talk on his like unscripted talk, and then also his talk in Horizon where he's talking to a bunch of different people. And one of the things that I've noticed in all these reviews is people talk about how if you're not at 63, you might be compromised. You might be in a screwed up situation. And really what I'm talking to here, folks, is people like me. People like me and Palmer effing Lucky. Okay, Palmer, I know you feel me on this one, bro, because like me and Palmer have very similar IPDs. My IPD is like 70, 71, like right there, maybe 70, right? And I believe Palmer is in a very similar spot with his IPD. And the thing is, so I can set it to 68, but it is going to be an extremely compromised experience. And Carmack admitted as much. Carmack admitted it. Anybody that listened to the 2 Carmack talks, he said, if you've got a wide IPD, first of all, another thing Carmack said is the FOV is like 95. Okay, that's if you're at 63. That's if you're dialed in. The FOV is 95 degrees if you're at 63, and it's ideal. Now, if you're at 68, but your eyes are even wider than that, your FOV is like scrunched like a mofo, man. It's unfortunate that I'm such a freaking VR nut job and I've been cursed with this 70 IPD because it is not ideal. It is not ideal. It's like my favorite thing to do is to play basketball, but I'm 4'6". You know, it's like I just got boned in the boning of life, bonage.com. I'm up there at 70 IPD and it's going to be compromised as hell. I bought one of these puppies immediately. I'm still excited to get it and I'm going to hope for the best. I'm going to give it a chance. But I honestly, because I got a Rift S, man. I gave the Rift S a chance. I got the Rift S. I used it for a couple of days and I had to let it go. It wasn't because there was anything that was blurry or the scale was off or any of that stuff. No, all that stuff was fine. I didn't have a problem with that. I returned the Rift S because it felt like my field of view got chopped by a solid 20 degrees. And anybody that has an IPD of like 70, 71 and you're using a Rift S, you just don't notice. Like if you think everything's fine, you're wrong. I'm sorry to tell you this. You're wrong. It is compromised as hell. You're just not noticing. Unfortunately, there's people like me that notice all these like little things. I wish, dude, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss like you wouldn't believe. I would love to be one of these people that like never notice screen door, never notice glare. They're just happy. You know, they're just like, yeah, everything's great. This works great. They don't notice that the scale is wrong or that, you know, all these things are compromised. I would love that to be my situation, but it isn't. So, yeah, so my number 3 complaint is definitely with the compromise. And you know, the compromise doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop at people with 70 and 71 and 72 IPDs. I mean, obviously, they're going to set it at 68. They're going to hope for the best. Now, if your IPD is like, say, 56 or something like that, obviously, you're going to set it to 58. Now, those people, the good news for those people, they are going to get a compromised experience, but they're not going to have their field of view chopped to that degree. It's the people on the outside that really get boned. Lucky me, dog. Lucky me. Now, but other people are going to be compromised as well. For example, if you have an IPD of like 65 and a half, you know, and you're gonna put it at 63, and then you're gonna try 68, and then you're gonna try 63. The bottom line with this, especially the way they made those lenses and the way they're kind of like the way they're coming out of there, you're gonna be off center. It's not gonna be ideal. It's just not one size fits all. This product is not one size fits all. And the number one question that I have for anybody at Oculus internally that made this decision, I want to know how much money are you saving per headset with this decision? If you had an actual slider that can pinpoint in between that range, now here's the thing, it still wouldn't help me because the maximum on that slider would still be 68. The maximum on the bottom would still be 58. So it wouldn't help me. Like, I'd still be boned. But somebody at 65, it would help them. But they didn't do that. And we heard that they experimented. They had a prototype that had 5 positions. There was another prototype that had 7 positions. And then they're like, no, we're fine with these 3 positions. But I've heard a number of reviews. I believe Tyrell Wood in his review said he wasn't totally happy because his IPD is like 66 or something like that. Or it might have been somebody else, but somebody had an IPD of like 66 and they were bouncing between 63 and 68 and couldn't find a happy medium. That kind of sucks. So yeah, that's my negative thing on the IPD. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and switch back on these trailers. Actually, let's see. I'll grab a different trailer real quick. Like Sniper Elite, we'll grab that trailer. Haven't popped that on there. Okay, so anyway, that we were talking negative. The number 3 negative is the IPD adjustment. Not the greatest thing in the world there. Okay, so let's go back to positives. Okay, so number 3, my number 3 positive for the Oculus Quest 2 is the XR2 chip should provide some level of future-proofing, so maybe this Quest will last 2 full years. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe the consumer electronics product that you are about to buy for $300 or $400, and then after you add everything else on, a hell of a lot more, maybe it's going to actually last a solid 24 months. How incredible would that be? I'm joking here because the truth is this ain't an Oculus Quest 2. So the Oculus Quest 1 is not obsolete at all. And we'll be talking about that in a second as well. But the XR2, the nice thing about it is, look, they're using very little of the XR2 right now. In fact, if you listen to a lot of the talks, especially like what Carmack was talking about, what some other people have talked about, it almost sounds to me like the XR2 was like a last minute deal. Like they were able to buy it in enough bulk, get the price enough low. They were able to squeeze that puppy in. And it's like they were able to throw that XR2 in there at the last possible minute. But during the launch of the Oculus Quest 2, we're barely going to see any of the value of that XR2. But the good news is like 8 or 9 months from now, we probably will see quite a bit of value from that XR2 in a lot of different ways. And hey, it's still a freaking XR2. Like, let's be honest about this. This is one of the crowning achievements of this headset. Now, of course, when we're talking positives, I put this in at number 3. I put the price. I think the price is the biggest one. And then I think the screen quality, almost eliminating screen door or dramatically reducing screen door, that is huge as well. Because imagine somebody that gets this headset as their first VR headset. They're going to start off at a pretty high level in terms of picture quality and all of that. Like when they're in Netflix and shit, they're going to be like, wow, this is freaking amazing. So I put that ahead. But the XR2 chip, let's not forget about that thing. That is a powerful chip. It's got a lot of capabilities. I'll be talking more about that as we go along. Okay, so let's go back to the negative side. I've done 3 negatives. Let's do negative number 4. Negative number 4, of course, is the Facebook factor. The Facebook login situation. By the way, did you guys know that this game, Sniper Elite VR, is coming to the Oculus Quest? Yeah, we're also gonna talk about games a little bit later. It's a strange new world, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, it is a strange new world because there's some weird things going on. We'll get to that. Let's see. So where was I? Facebook login. Yeah. So the Facebook login, obviously, this is a big disappointment for a lot of people, but for a lot of other people, this is much ado about nothing. So I mean, I'm going to say this is a negative because for some people, this is a deal breaker. For some people, they're just not going to buy this stuff at all. Some people are scrambling, looking for a Valve Index or an HPG2 or, they're just scrambling in other directions because they just don't want to do this. They really dislike what Facebook has done to the fabric of the American culture, man. And, just all of that, right? And I'm not going to disagree with a lot of that stuff. And then, of course, you go down the privacy road and you go down all the things that they're going to be tracking on us. I mean, we can envision a day, and it's not going to be that far away, where we do have some scene recognition and understanding up in this mofo, and it is scanning your room, and it is looking at your walls, and it is looking at the ceiling, and it is looking all over, and it's analyzing everything and figuring where everything is, and then it's going to notice, oh, you have this product in the background. You have that product in the background. And then the next thing you know, you're on Facebook or some other thing, and bam, an advertisement comes up that is related very specifically to some little object that you had in the background. That future is coming. And so this is a negative from that standpoint. However, my personal take on this, I take a fatalistic approach to privacy. Like, I've basically decided when it comes to privacy, I feel like the train's left the station, man. The train has left the station. Like, I'm not concerned about privacy anymore. And here's a quick little rant on the privacy note. And some people are going to hate what I have to say about this, because some people say, you're the effing problem. You and your fatalistic, like, you've taken an idea where this is impossible to stop, so just give in. It's like Dr. Strangelove. The bomb is already here, so just love the bomb. Get on top of it and ride it all the way home, baby. That's my thought. Some people will hate this, though. They'll say, I am the absolute problem. My take on this is the problem. But here's my quick little rundown on privacy in this modern world. Okay, so let's imagine for a minute that privacy was the number one concern on planet Earth, that it was the most important thing over everything else, that privacy was the most important thing, that what happens in people's homes needs to stay private, that you can have private conversations, yada, yada, whatever, right? Privacy is the most important thing in the world. And so at every step, at every juncture, you try to make sure that there's privacy. Even if we lived in a world like that, which we don't, but let's pretend that we lived in a world like that. Even in a world like that, the way technology is advancing and this goal of having privacy, they don't mix. So you would have to abandon technology. You would literally have to abandon technology. We would literally have to make an agreement that we're just not going to have technological advances. Because if you really, really, really care about privacy, there is no way to keep it in a technological future that is going to keep advancing and advancing and advancing. The train has left the station, ladies and gentlemen. I take a fatalistic approach to this. And now, if you really want privacy, there's a way to do it. It's called moving to a cabin in the woods. Move to a cabin in the woods. Do not have any cell phones. Never go on any internet. Just drive to the store, buy some food, bring it back, stay in the woods, stay far away from everybody. That's the only way. Because if you live in a technologically advanced society, it's impossible. Even if it was our most cherished dream to have privacy. So anyway, that's my rant on the whole Facebook thing. But some people will hate this. They will absolutely hate my take on that. Okay, so that was negative number 4, which I kind of spinned into a positive. Not a positive, but like a non-story, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go back to the positives. So in one of the biggest negatives, I just railed on the whole IPD thing, saying that this IPD slider crap is kind of garbage on a stick. But now it's going to be the fourth positive because it is a positive. So what did I put here? I said, at least there's some minimum type of physical IPD adjustment. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. It absolutely could have been worse. We've already seen it be worse. We've seen it be worse on the Oculus Go. We've seen it be worse on the Rift S. We've seen it be worse on PlayStation VR. None of those have any kind of physical IPD adjustment, and some people are boned.com with all of those different headsets for various reasons. So at least there is a bit of an adjustment here. Like, that is a bonus, because there are some people that are sitting at 63 and they are living a dream, because this headset was designed for you, bro. If you're sitting at 63, you are sitting pretty. You're not going to have any compromises at all. Your FOV isn't going to be jacked. You're not going to have chromatic aberrations on the side. Like, it's going to be smooth. And then those of us that are sitting at 58 or 68, you're going to be in a pretty decent spot as well. You're actually going to be slightly compromised compared to the guy at 63, but you're going to be in a pretty good spot, and you're probably going to be fine enough where it's going to be all good. And then if you're in between, anywhere in between any of those ranges, you'll probably be okay, hopefully. Now, if you're in the real high side like I am, you are bone.com. I'm still going to try it. I'm still going to hope for the best. But at least there's something, because we've seen headsets that have nothing, and at least there's something. Okay, so that was positive number 4. This is taking a long time, isn't it? Okay, let's go to negative number 5. This is a big one for me. I'm bothered by this. You want to talk about triggered? Okay, once again, this is not a Quest 2. It's called Quest 2, but it's not a Quest 2. This is not a second generation piece of hardware. Now, that's not the negative. The negative is, what did I write here? The negative is no mini HDMI connection for full bandwidth PC VR signal. Now, here's the thing. Look, I know that you can get that full resolution, that 1832 by 1920 per eye. You can actually pass that along via the USB cable. You can do that if you have Oculus Link. However, it's not the same. It is not going to be the same. For example, if we had a PC VR headset, imagine they took the Oculus Quest 2, they removed the Snapdragon, they removed the battery, they removed all the bullshit, and they had an actual physical cable coming out of it that has HDMI and USB. And so they basically create an Oculus Quest 2 that is designed very specifically for PC VR. It has a direct connection, same exact resolution. Everything is the same. The only difference is it's got a direct connection, so it's getting that full HDMI signal. The thing about Oculus Link, now this could be improved over time, but the thing about Oculus Link is the GPU that you have in your computer is actually handling the compression and then sending it through that USB wire, which goes back into your headset, and then it's unraveling it and putting it in your face. And the bottom line is, how much money would it have cost? How much money would it have cost for them to put a little HDMI plug on there? And so you'd have 2 wires. Like, there would be a special cable that you would get. One wire would go to the USB, one wire would go to the mini HDMI. So you get your power, you get your HDMI, you plug it into your computer direct. This way your GPU is not doing any kind of compression bullshit, and you could get the pure 1832 by 1920 per eye. Kiss your Reverb G2 goodbye, man. And you want to talk about daily driver? This could be your daily driver if they put a freaking HDMI plug up on there, but they didn't. They stuck with the Link. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, part of the reason might be they don't really want you to use this as a PC VR headset all that much in the grand scheme of things. Or Well, actually, you know what probably was the real reason here? I think if you put an HDMI plug on anything, you've got to pay a licensing fee to the HDMI consortium, and that is probably the real reason that you don't have that on there. So, it's unfortunate, but man, because like if there was a little mini HDMI on there, this could be my freaking primary headset, assuming my FOV isn't down to like 80 degrees, which it's probably going to be. Okay, so yeah, no mini HDMI connection, no dice. Okay, let's go back to the positive side of the coin. This is going to be a funny one. This is going to be a funny one. Okay, so my fifth biggest positive for the Oculus Quest 2 is, well, it's for Quest 1 owners. If you're a Quest 1 owner, you have not been boned. Remember back to Monday when everything leaked and we're like, oh shit, freaking Quest 2, XR2, oh my God, mind is blown. I was like, oh shit, our Oculus Quest 1 is worthless. We've had an Oculus Quest 1 for 480 days and it's worthless. The value is plummeting off a freaking cliff like Thelma and Louise flying off a cliff. I mean, the value just plummeted like you wouldn't believe. Like, for example, my Oculus Quest back there, Frankenmod and all, the bigger version, super deluxe version, right? How much is that thing worth right now? $250 maybe? $300? Well, actually, it's not as bad as I thought, folks, because this isn't an Oculus Quest 2. No, not really. This is a Quest 1.5 that they just happened to squeeze an XR2 in. This is not a new generation. There's nothing that's being broken. This is not going to have super advanced hand tracking because they didn't change the goddamn cameras. The hand tracking might be, well, actually, we'll get into that later, but this is not a new paradigm. This is not. So if you have a Quest 1, you don't have to be jealous. There's no reason to be jealous if you have a Quest 1 because nothing's changing. You're going to be playing Saints and Sinners. You're going to be playing Myst. You're going to be playing Jurassic World Aftermath. You're not getting that boned out of this. And the people that do get the Oculus Quest 2, it's not like they're going to be in a completely different world seeing graphics of untold proportions. No, this is going to be such a mild difference, at least in the early days, that it's non-consequential. It's not a downer, man. So if you got a Quest 1 and you were crying your eyes out, dry your eyes. It's not a big deal, man. Hold on to your Quest 1. Don't panic sell it because this is not the Quest 2 you thought it was, man. We don't have like scene recognition and understanding and advanced Facebook avatars. There's no eye tracking in here. There's no super advanced features going on. There's no body tracking. There's no super advancements here. This is a Quest 1.5 that they squeezed an XR2 in at the last possible second. So it actually is a positive, at least for Quest 1 owners. No FOMO. You don't have to have FOMO over this. I don't believe. Okay, let's go to the negatives. Okay, negative number 6. This is something I am concerned about. In all the different reviews that I've heard, and even Carmack himself, even the legendary John Carmack, and especially like in Nathy's review of this, I heard a word that disturbed me. It disturbed me, and it is called glare. However, I believe they're talking about God rays, and I believe God rays and glare, two different animals, in my opinion. In my opinion, God rays and glare, two completely different things. They're closely related. They're like cousins, but they're not the same animal. They're not in the same, they're not your immediate family. It's like a second cousin removed. Okay, glare in the Valve Index, nightmare on a stick. Now, again, this is one of these things where I notice little imperfections. Remember, ignorance is bliss. I wish I could be the bliss guy and be completely ignorant of it. But in the Valve Index, it's like this, ladies and gentlemen. That glare swings over here, and it swings over there, and it swings around, and it swings all the way up to the top and swings back around. That's the way glare works. God rays are different. God rays come right from the middle. God rays is when you see white text on a black background, and it's like, like Superman. It's like, like when Superman, the old Superman movies, when it comes at you like that, you see the God rays. So the CV1 was a God ray machine, right? And certain people are very affected by God rays. Other people, not so much. Certain people are really affected by glare. Other people, not so much. Here's a perfect example. Gary from VR Roundtable. By the way, I forgot to mention this at the top of the show. We are having a VR Roundtable reunion Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time on this channel. There is one Debbie Downer, though. There is one Debbie Downer. Everybody's going to be there but Steve. Steve, unfortunately, he had to go out of town. Not able to do it. So we're not going to have Steve this Sunday, but we are going to have a 4-man crew. Guy Godin is going to join me, Chris, Gary, and Guy Godin, developer of Virtual Desktop, is going to join us. And we're going to have a long form discussion talking about a lot of like bigger issue topics where we can kind of relax and get into a nuanced discussion. That'll be nice. That is Sunday morning, 9 a.m. But the reason I mentioned that is because Gary has always been particularly affected by God rays, but doesn't notice glare very much. I'm the complete opposite. God rays don't hardly bother me, but glare ruins shit for me. So anyway, Nathan was talking about glare, and John Carmack also mentioned glare, but it's really God rays. It's really God rays. So thank God, as far as I'm concerned, thank God it's not glare. I can deal with God rays. Glare is a whole nother ballgame. But yeah, regardless of whether it's God rays or glare, it's disappointing. You don't want to hear that. Like, you don't want to hear, oh yeah, there's a glare God ray. Like, that's the last thing you want to hear, especially in the year 2020. Like, when are we eventually going to get past this? Like, what is it going to take? What kind of lens is it going to, like, what do we need to get past this? Because I could tell you right now, if I could buy a Valve Index, if I could pay $500 extra for, like, if I could, whatever the price of the Valve Index is, if I could add on another $500 on top of that to get the non-glare version, I'd do it. I would straight up do it. But it's not available. Like I don't know what it's going to take from a technological standpoint. But yeah, glare seems to be a bit of a problem, although it does seem to be more like the classic God rays. Okay, so that is on the negative side of the coin. That's negative number 6. Okay, so let's go back over to the positive side. What is positive number 6? This one's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's a relatively minor thing, but in the grand scheme of things, this is actually pretty cool. So positive number 6 is battery life. Battery life, man. So these are AA batteries, right? Now, honestly, with my Quest and like, I don't have a Rift S, but with my CV1, with the Touch one and with the Quest and with all the different touch controllers that I've used, it's always been a single AA battery. And honestly, I felt like the battery usage is pretty good on these things. Like, I don't consider it like garbage on a stick. Like, it doesn't seem like I'm always reaching for batteries every other minute. So it seems pretty good. But guess what? It's even better. It is even better with these new controllers. So, like, people were saying that they use their batteries. They were using these controllers for like a long time, and it still showed that their batteries were like 100% charged. Like, supposedly the battery usage has been improved by 3 or 4 times what it was on Quest 1 or like CV1 Touch. So batteries are going to last longer. Hey, there's nothing bad about that. That is actually pretty sweet. And honestly, I don't mind the whole idea of having a single AA battery in there. I mean, a lot of people like charging, they prefer to just charge up their controllers. The nice thing about, just having that single AA battery in there is there's been times where I've been playing the Valve Index and then, damn it, my controllers freaking died. And I was really planning on playing my Valve Index for quite some time. And like I just started playing and the controllers died, and then you're boned. You got to charge the thing up. So it's kind of nice to be able to just grab a battery and just slam it in there. Okay, so that is cool. I like that. All right, let's go back to the negative side. So number 7, unlikely to have XR2 specific software anytime in the next 10 months. Yeah, so this is the double-edged sword. This is the double-edged sword, of course. One of the positives was Quest 1 owners, don't cry, dry your eyes, because this isn't that bad, because your Quest 1 is basically the same as this thing. There isn't much of a difference. There's not going to be much of a difference for like the first year or so. It's not like somebody's going to be on Quest 2 and they're going to be like, whoa, man, my hand tracking, like there's no occlusion, man. My hand tracking's incredible, bro. And I'm playing a whole new world. Like I've got polygons you've never seen before. It's not going to be a have and have not kind of a situation, at least for 10 months, at least. Now, eventually we are going to start seeing games that look considerably better on the XR2, but for all intents and purposes, the gameplay is going to basically be the same, but somebody is going to get a better experience on this. The problem is, if you buy a Quest 2 and you think you're going to see some razzmatazz type shit before like late summer next year, like a year from now, basically, I don't think it's going to happen, man. I don't think it's going to happen. First of all, this thing's running at 72 hertz. It's not running at 90. Like, I think they're like barely using the XR2. Again, I think it's almost like a last minute kind of a scenario. They were able to throw that XR2 in there, and, it's just one of these things. But basically, I mean, it is a negative, because this goes back to calling it an Oculus Quest 2. Like if I was just your average Joe Schmo and I wasn't up on all this stuff, I go in, I buy an Oculus Quest 2. I'm expecting a freaking new level, man. I had a Nintendo Entertainment System, and then I got a Super Nintendo, and that shit was a big giant improvement. And then I had a Super Nintendo, and then I got a Nintendo 64. Okay, maybe a better comparison was I had an original PlayStation in the 90s, in the late 90s. Then I got a PlayStation 2, like the year 2000. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. There was a huge ass jump, right? We had PlayStation 4s. Now we're going to have PlayStation 5s. There should be a big effing leap, but it's not happening here. This isn't a 2. They made a mistake, in my personal opinion. Naming it an Oculus Quest 2, you're setting people up for disappointment. Some people are thinking like this is going to be like a new generation of software, but it's not. It could be if they cut the ball and chain, and we're working hard on that, but it's obviously going to take like a year or so. And, so, I mean, it's a negative, because like you're not going to see the razzmatazz. Now, what you are going to see is you're going to see 90 frames when you're in the store menu and when you're bouncing around the UI, 90 frames, and that XR2 is going to be snippy and snappy, baby. It's going to be moving quick, moving fast. You're going to be cycling through those menus like never before. It's going to feel like a new lease on life. But the actual games, like, nah. You're not seeing like next gen standalone games in this headset, at least not for 10 months, my opinion. All right, so that is on the negative side of the coin. Let's go back to positivity, ladies and gentlemen. And positivity number 7, controller ergonomics significantly improved, at least for those of us with bigger hands. I mean, I don't have big hands, really, but I will say this. I prefer the Touch 1 controllers. I really do. I prefer the feel, the grip, the weight in my hands, the rumble, all of that. I prefer the Touch 1 controllers over the Quest controllers. And the way I understand it, is these have been ergonomically designed in such a way where they're a lot more similar to Touch One controllers, and I'm all for that. So it's an ergonomic design. It's a little bit bigger. Some people, one guy, Scott Stein of CNET, was saying that his thumb kept bumping the ring or something and it felt a little bit unnatural. He had to get used to it or whatever. That could be a bit of an issue. But I think the ergonomics are going to be better. Also, somebody was saying like it's heavier. They don't feel like they're going to get the same Beat Saber scores that they used to because it's a little bit heavier or whatever. But I believe the ergonomics, I believe that that's a bonus. I like that the controllers are a little bit bigger. Okay, going back over to the negative side of the thing. Okay, so number 8 for me on the negative side is no eye tracking or dynamic foveated rendering, but I got an asterisk. I got an asterisk on the dynamic foveated rendering because there is going to be some dynamic foveated rendering, but it's not using eye tracking. It's not the kind of dynamic foveated rendering that we want with actual eye tracking. Although I do kind of agree with John Carmack. John Carmack, in one of his breakdowns, basically admitted that he's not the believer that eye tracking and dynamic foveated rendering are going to be this game changer that a lot of people think. I agree with him. I agree with Carmack on this one. Because I don't think it's going to work as good as people think. And I also think it's going to be noticeable. And especially for people like me that notice little things. Again, ignorance is bliss. If I was one of those ignorance is bliss types, it would probably be great. I would love the dynamic foveated rendering using eye tracking to do it. But I think it's going to be a long time before that really pays a benefit. But I'm super disappointed here. And again, this is not a Quest 2. Sorry, Oculus, it's not a Quest 2. You need to put an asterisk right next to it. Because if this was a Quest 2, it would have eye tracking, right? I mean, come on. The year is 2020. The year is 2020. It's almost, do you know it'll be 5 years? 5 years on March 28th next year since modern VR officially began with the Rift CV1 going on sale March 28th, 2016. It'll be 5 years. 5 years. And in 5 years, because it's not like we're going to get a brand new Oculus headset before March 28th. We're going to be using this thing, the Oculus Quest 2. Within a 5-year period, we didn't get eye tracking? Really? We didn't? Like, if you interviewed me in 2016 and said, Anthony, do you believe we'll have eye tracking within the first 5 years? The Oculus Rift just came out today. Today's March 28th, 2016. Do you believe eye tracking will be available within 5 years? I'd be like, yeah, of course it will. I mean, shit, eye tracking will be around in 2019 we'll have eye tracking. I mean, of course, like, what? Of course we're going to have eye tracking. I mean, it's going to revolutionize social VR to be able to see your eyes move. It'll add so much more expression for when you're in Rec Room and things like that. And then also for the AI, for the enemies or for the player characters that you're interacting with, they'll be able to look at your eyes and follow your eyes and add an extra level of immersion. And then also you'll be able to even fixed foveated rendering could use some of that eye tracking, improve that as well. And of course, dynamic foveated rendering, if it actually really meant anything, that would use it as well. I'm disappointed, man. And to illustrate this point, let me show you guys something else. Hold on one second here. You know how I was always doing these interview shows, and I was asking people about next gen VR. And I have 11 key features of next gen VR. We've seen this a million times. Next gen VR, what's the key feature? Let's look at this list and let's see how many of these things they nailed on the Oculus Quest 2. Resolution, we did get an improvement there. Field of view, no, we went backwards. Field of view is 95 degrees, and that's only if you're at 63 millimeters. If you're anywhere else, it's worse. It's worse. Me at 70, it's going to be like an 85 degree field of view. And I'm not even joking about that. Ask John Carmack. Comfort, weight, sorry, bro. A 10% drop in weight Nothing. It's practically nothing. Non-existent. No improvement in comfort or weight. Those accessories do not count. Sorry, Sally and Joe Walmart ain't looking at your accessory order list. They're going to buy what's in the box. They're going to put it on there. They ain't even going to read the instruction booklet, man. That's what Joe and Sally Walmart do. Eye tracking dynamic foveated rendering. Okay, so dynamic foveated rendering is going to happen in kind of a way, and it's related to the XR2. It's related to the Tensor cores, and it's related to neural networks and stuff like that. There is going to be a little bit of dynamic foveated rendering. That's the good news, but it might be like a year away, and it's not the real dynamic foveated rendering that you want. Okay, wireless, it's already got wireless, so we're cool there. Full body tracking. Oh, by the way, did you guys listen to John Carmack in Horizon? He mentioned full body tracking, and he mentioned people passionately talking about full body tracking. And I got to admit, I thought, I wonder if he's talking about me. I wonder if he listened. Did John Carmack somehow accidentally see a VR365 episode where I'm like, we got to put our bodies in VR. Our bodies aren't in VR. I want to see my shoulders in VR. I want to see my chest in VR. I want to see my legs in VR. I like to think that John Carmack accidentally, randomly stumbled upon a VR365 episode, and he was actually talking about me. Probably not. I mean, chances are like 1%, and like 99%. It had nothing to do with VR365 whatsoever, but he did talk about full body tracking for a quick second. That was in the Horizon thing. But we ain't got no full body tracking, baby. And if we really had a freaking next gen Quest, it would have some cameras underneath examining your skeletal structure using those neural networks, using machine learning, blockchain, and figuring out your skeleton in full body action in real time. And the other thing that it would do is automatic green screen effect. So whatever shirt you're wearing is in the game. But it didn't happen. So no full body tracking. Okay, next gen AR pass-through. Well, this is the Oculus Quest 2. Of course they use new cameras, right? Of course we have like full color of course. Like this dude, it says Oculus Quest 2 on the box, man. It says Oculus Quest 2 on the box. Of course it's got full color pass-through, bro. No way they got that black and white shit. That black and white shit was so 2019, man. It was so May 21st, 2019. There's no way we still got black and white pass-through. Oh, we do? We still got black and white pass-through? Oh, hell no. What have they been doing over there, man? They're still using 640 by 480 monochromatic cameras? What's going on? I thought it was called the Quest 2. They must have made a mistake. It must be a typo. You know? Must have been a typo, man. They were supposed to put S instead of that. That 2 should be a S. It's not a 2. Built-in 5G modem. So this is part of the reason that XR2 chip is actually affordable here, because see, this was another problem that I had. This is like my Apple prediction and all of that. I was so blown away that the XR2 was in there combined with the $299 price that I was adamant that Apple had something and Facebook knew it, and that's why it was happening. But the thing that I forgot about is you can get an XR2 without the 5G modem. And if you get it without the 5G modem, it's a lot cheaper. And so I kind of miscalculated how much an XR2 chip really costs, because I was thinking about the cost where it has the 5G modem. So we don't have a 5G modem here, ladies and gentlemen. Facial tracking advanced avatars? Sorry, bro. There's no cameras inside. The XR2 is capable of 7 concurrent cameras, but we've got 4. We've got 4, ladies and gentlemen, and they're 640 by 480 monochromatic, all right? So that's not happening. They could have had 3 little cameras inside there, 2 for eye tracking and 1 for cheekbone facial reconstruction. Didn't happen. Varifocal lenses don't make me laugh. Now, place space reskinning understanding. Hey, that was in the Qualcomm advertisement, right? Vanishing realms in my house. Like, I'm going to be running up the stairs in my house and I'm in Vanishing Realms. That was in the Qualcomm advertisement for the XR2. I'm going to run outside in my backyard and all of a sudden I'm going to be in the club. I'm going to be in the club popping and locking. But that's not happening. There's no play space reskinning. There's no live maps, not with freaking 640 by 480 monochromatic black and white cameras. They can't pick up the detail, bruh. So next gen VR, where is it? It's not here. It's not in the Quest 2. We got a little bit of that resolution, little bit of it sprinkled around. We got the wireless because it's already there anyway. We might get a little bit of dynamic fovated rendering because of that XR2 neural networks, tensor cores, and all of that type of shit. But yeah, man, this ain't the XR2 you thought it was. I mean, this ain't the Quest 2 you thought it was. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch back to a different trailer. And we'll show off some beautiful gameplay footage of upcoming VR games. Okay, so where were we here? Yeah, so I was talking about no eye tracking or dynamic foveated rendering. Okay, and then number 9 for negatives was like, where's the full color pass-through? Cameras are apparently the same as Quest 1. Seems weak sauce. I agree. Man. Whoever wrote this, I agree with him. Seems weak sauce. Yeah, it does. Okay, let's go to the positivity side of the coin. Positive number 8. What is the number 8 positive thing, ladies and gentlemen? A 10% reduction in weight. Yeah! 10% reduction in weight. That is a game changer. That completely changes the game. Dude, this went from the most uncomfortable headset on planet effing Earth to, holy shit, they dropped 10% of the weight? That's incredible. This is going to be like a pillow, like a soft, fluffy pillow touching my forehead. I'm damn near going to fall asleep when I'm playing these games because it's going to be so comfortable because they dropped the weight 10%. Okay, look, it's still a positive. They did drop the weight 10%. I mean, they could have said, hey, we reduced the weight 1%. All right, 10% is better than 1. 10% is better than none, so I'm going to put it in the positive column, but it's not I'm not exactly writing to mom and telling her about that 10% weight drop. Not exactly that incredible. Okay, let's go back to the negative side of the coin. So I mentioned the full color pass-through. I already really talked about that. Okay, the switch to RGB stripe. An RGB stripe LCD from Pentile OLED, it's not all positive, bro. There are people out there like your homie Tyrell Wood who they love those inky blacks. There's some people that love the blacks to be black and they love those vivid colors. They want those colors to pop. They want the colors to pop. Vivid colors, inky blacks. Now, if we talk to somebody like John Carmack, he'll say, well, okay, you got me on the vivid colors. Yeah, we're not going to have a lot of vivid colors over here, bro. But those inky blacks were never as black as you thought they were because we had to deal with black smear and all this other shit. So you never really got the blacks that you thought you were going to get in the first goddamn place with OLED. So you're actually better off going LCD. But we are losing a little bit on those vibrant colors. So don't forget that. It is a little bit of a negative. I mean, not a huge negative, but it's a little bit of a negative. Okay, going back to the positive side of the coin. I kind of already mentioned this, but the Oculus Store menus and UI should be a hell of a lot snappier with that XR2. And this is one thing. Like, this is going to be the one thing that you're going to immediately notice. Those of you that have had a Quest for a long time, you play your Quest every day, possibly, you're going to notice that the screen is improved. You're going to notice that your field of view has been chopped in half. But the one good thing that you are going to notice is, man, you're moving through those windows. I mean, you're moving through the menu like you never moved through it before. It's going to be pretty amazing from that standpoint. It's going to be really fast. It's going to feel really good. It's not going to be all hitchy and delayed and shit. So that is nice. And that is probably going to be the one thing that we're going to notice right away, because also in the menu and the browser and stuff, they can actually run it at 90 hertz. Even now, I believe, like experimental mode. Okay, so let's go back over to the negative. I put here included head strap seems designed for temporary use until you get a better add-on. Yeah, I'm talking about just the fabric, just the thing that comes in the $2.99 box. I mean, we've already talked about this, but it's basically a situation where, yeah, there's all the accessories and everything that you can get, but you really have to judge the product. Like, for example, you could buy a Quest 2 for your mom, or you buy a Quest 2 for your brother or something. Do you think your mom or your brother is going to go online and order a deluxe special head strap? I doubt it. They're going to use what's in the box, and they're going to complain about it and say, well, I get a headache. Every time I use it, I get a headache after about 35 minutes. And then you're going to be like, but Mom, you can go to the website and order. And, oh, I don't use websites, honey. I'm confused by websites. I just watch TV. I just watch Fox News. Okay, let's see here. We're going to try to go back to the negative side of the coin. I mean, the positive side. Let's go back to positivity. Okay, so, controller, USB-C plug orientation. The USB-C plug orientation. Whoever thought we'd be ranting and raving about this, ladies and gentlemen? Although this is actually pretty cool. The fact that it is oriented the right way so you can have that cable going back nice and smooth style. It also helps from it being popped out or jacked up or messed up. I mean, it is kind of nice that they actually figured that part out for the Oculus Link cable. Finger tracking. So some other positives. Controller tracking might be improved slightly over Quest 1. Now, this is a detail that I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about this one because one of the things that we heard a while back, like I think this might have been part of one of the leaks or something. We heard this a while ago that the Oculus Quest 2 controllers we're going to pulse at like 60 hertz compared to 30 hertz. Like if you have an Oculus Quest 1, like basically the pulsing lights that are on it are like 30 hertz. And on these controllers, they're double, 60 hertz. But that flies in the face of all this extra battery time. So I don't know. So like, is that true? Because I was thinking, wow, if these controllers are pulsing at twice the rate, they're probably going to be tracked better. They're probably going to be noticed easier on the tracking. And then also, even if they aren't pulsing at any better rate, because we know they're saving battery life and all of that. So even if it isn't double the pulse rate or whatever it is, or double the hertz or whatever, even if that is not a factor, this does have the XR2. And the XR2 does have tensor cores. And the tensor cores does help with possible neural networks. And the neural networks combine with the blockchain and the machine learning, and guess what? A little bit better tracking algorithms. It's possible that there could be some slightly better tracking algorithms. Probably won't notice it for a year though. It'll probably be a year from now. We might realize that those that have a Quest 2, your controllers just track a little bit better. It might be very marginal, might not be a huge difference, but you might get a little bit better controller tracking. Finger tracking, same thing. And this is something, dude, I would have bet my life that a real Quest 2, I thought the finger tracking, man, I thought this would have been so mission critical. Like the two things that I would have thought for sure with this is why this isn't a legit Quest 2. Because if this, you could go back and watch some of my old shows, and I would have said, dude, when we get a legit Quest 2, you're going to put that headset on, you're going to see a full color pass through, and the hand tracking's going to be flawless because you're going to have some co-processors that are going to be designed specifically for the hand tracking. So occlusion and all that, nah, bro, you're going to have neural networks like you've never neuraled. There's going to be so much machine learning and so much blockchain that your fingers are going to be tracked like you would not believe. I thought for sure, man, I thought full color pass through and bomb-ass finger tracking. We didn't get neither of these babies. We didn't get neither of them, man. But I do believe, like about a year from now, maybe not even a year from now, the other thing too is like lighting, right? You see all these freaking lights. I got lights everywhere up in this place. But guess what I don't have? I don't have a window. I don't have a window. So I don't have natural sunlight streaming in. And you know what? That's problematic. For hand tracking on that Quest 1 over there, it don't work so great. I'm using my Quest 1. It's using hand tracking, and it's like, and then my hand like disappears and shit. And I get these messages like low lights, like your lighting isn't good enough. If this was a Quest 2, we would have new cameras, which would be new hand track. It would be like a new revolution. And like I'd be in this room, hand tracking would be flawless. I'd never get no message about low light. But I still think hand tracking will be improved a little bit over time. And yeah, Quest 2, I'm gonna run through. I'm just running through some stuff now. Quest 2 has capabilities for 90 hertz, even potentially 120 hertz in experimental mode. Yeah, so this goes back to John Carmack in his little impromptu hallway discussion session that was in Horizon, Facebook Horizon. Somebody asked him a question about like Doom and Quake, and like, dude, John Carmack, have you played Quake on the Quest? You know, what do you think about this and all that? And he actually mentioned, he mentioned that we're never going to get that shit officially in the store because ZeniMax hates his freaking guts, and it's just freaking, like, it's horrible. It's so unfortunate. Especially, it is so incredibly unfortunate because John Carmack, straight up, one of the best people on planet Earth. Now, I don't know, dude, maybe John Carmack is secretly an axe murderer, but everything that I've noticed about the guy is a quality human being, man. He is a quality human being. Like, he gives me hope for the effing human race. Really does. And it's so sad that he was involved in like $1 billion lawsuit with ZeniMax and all that bullshit. But anyway, one of the things that he mentioned was if they could have Quake officially running on the Quest, like on the store and everything, he was saying that's one of the things that could run at 120 frames and it would run perfect. So there's some things that could potentially run at 120 frames, but it's going to be experimental. MRTV, Carmack is a human being. No, he's a quality human being. He's a quality vanilla bean. He really is. He's a quality guy, man. I like my boy John Carmack. I mean, he's just a great human being. Again, there might be bodies buried under his house because the thing is, there's people that have this theory that the best people, like the people that you think are the best people in the world, like there has to be this like dark side to them that they keep hidden from the public. So like people that you think are the best human beings ever, they're secretly axe murderers as well. I forget where I heard that, like on a podcast or something. It might have been like a Joe Rogan podcast. All right. Is there any more negatives? Yeah. I mean, I think I pretty much, yeah. So it takes 2.5 hours to fully charge the Quest. You know, that's kind of a downside. Still using Fresnel lenses, concentric circles for everybody. Charging cable. Oh, dude, the charging cable. Dude, I should have had the charging cable ranked at like the 7th biggest negative. Dude, the charging cable is a legit frustration. Here's what I want to know, guys. I want to know, Can I use the Quest 1 charging cable? Will that damage anything? Because if the Quest 1 charging cable won't damage anything, I'm using that. Okay, do you see my Quest over there standing on that speaker right there? Okay, and if I get out of the way here, see over there, see there's a brown, that brown thing on that red wall? That's where I plug in the power adapter. So I can plug in the power adapter on that brown thing on that wall over there, and the wire can reach over to my Quest headset, which is on top of that speaker there, and everything's fine. Well, guess what? Quest 2, that shit is not going to work, man. They chopped that cord in half like a mofo, and they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose because they're greedy. They're greedy, man, because they want you to buy an official Oculus Link cable. Ain't that a biatch? It is. It is a biatch. All right. Yeah, it takes 2.5 hours to fully charge the unit. Charging cable, short as F. Oh, I do have a question. Like, here's one of my biggest questions. This is an unanswered question that's out there. Does this thing have Wi-Fi 6? Does it have Wi-Fi 6 capabilities? I guess Guy Godin will be talking about that Sunday when we have a VR Roundtable special reunion. Guy Godin will be playing the role of Steve Bishop. Sunday, 9 a.m. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. Gary, Chris, myself, and Guy Godin will try to think about everything that has happened in reality today. But I don't know, does this have Wi-Fi 6 support? I don't think it does, because somebody would have said something about it. That sucks. And another little question I have is, okay, so when it comes to accessories, you can order a package that comes with 2 face gaskets. One of them is narrow and one of them is wide. Okay, so what is my question? My question is, I just bought the $299 cheapo deluxe package. $299, bro. Nothing else. I didn't get any other accessories for now. For now. But my question is, the face gasket, that face gasket that we see on the screen right now, is that wide? Is that narrow? Is it in between? Is it a completely different one? Like is it in between wide and narrow? This is a question. Why is it a question? Because I got a bigger dome piece. That's why it's a question. So it's like, what size is that thing? Because if it's the narrow one, it means that I got to spend another, $50 or whatever? Yeah, it's called the nickel and diming of America, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, I'm pretty much running out of gas. The last thing I'm going to do here before I bounce out of here is, let's see here, full screen trailer, this one? Yeah. Okay, so I want to switch to this. And then what I wanted to do, I just wanted to comment on some of these games really quick. Some of these new games that have been announced, trailers and things like that. There it is, folks. Star Wars, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge does look pretty dope. This does look pretty dope. But the thing is, ILM, they've kind of dropped the ball in terms of like forcing you to stay in a spot, not being able to move. Okay, so here's Jurassic Park. Okay, Jurassic World. F Jurassic World. It's Jurassic Park as far as I'm concerned. All the Jurassic World movies are ass on a stick. So I like Jurassic Park instead. I like this cel-shaded style. I do. I think this is dope. I'm looking forward to this. And I believe this is going to run fast and smooth. And I'm looking forward to Jurassic Park Aftermath. Most people that I talked to complained and were like, dude, no, I want realistic graphics. Okay, pixel ripped 2089, brah. So this is just an add-on, I believe, to the existing pixel whipped. So, or do you have to buy an entirely new game? I'm not sure about that. And then, of course, here is The Climb 2. I wonder how quickly we're going to get this. And then a lot of these trailers, like it said right there, footage captured on PC. That's not cool, bro. That is not cool, bro, to use footage that's captured on the PC, because it ain't going to look like that on Quest. Now we got Myst. Myst is, like, all these games are coming to the Quest. Are they coming to Rift S as well? I don't know. We got to assume they are, But then at the same time, Oculus is putting the Rift S to bed. Oculus is putting the Rift S to bed, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this one looks cool. Okay, this is Battle Sister or Sister Battle or whatever the hell it's called, Warhammer 40K. The thing that I'm excited about this, folks, the developer, Pixel Toys, Drop Dead. Dude, Drop Dead was pretty freaking dope. Okay, this is the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners and Skydance Interactive. You failed me, brah, because you're talking about the Quest version and you're showing PC VR footage. Not cool, bro. Look at it. It's coming to Oculus Quest, yet in very tiny print somewhere it said this is PC version. Like, you're giving people a hell of a false impression. Although I have heard that Saints and Sinners on Quest 1 and Quest 2 actually pretty damn good. Of course, when you see footage of it, a hell of a lot less zombies walking around, a hell of a lot less things inside the house. The house has got hella empty all of a sudden, so there is that. I'm down for the Jurassic World. I'm looking forward to Aftermath. I think that's going to be cool. I'm down for the cell-shaded styly. There's the climb. Yeah, you're going to be in like Australia at one point as well, too. The climb, it seemed like we just got the climb, though. It seems like we just got the climb. I barely knew ye, and you're already bringing us another one. I don't know how quickly this is coming. But yeah, this is kind of just a new game montage of a bunch of games that are coming. All of them, I guess, are coming. Battle Sister. Yeah, all these games are coming to the Quest. Are some of them coming to the Rift as well? When is it going to happen? You tell me, brah. See, one of the things about Oculus, I got to admit this. Like, dude, Oculus, their marketing is kind of weird. Like who is the head of their marketing and what are you doing? It's almost like they're deliberately being mysterious because like Oculus does some weird stuff. They like drop games all of a sudden out of the blue with no warning. They just drop a game, sneak attack style. Personally, I don't think sneak attacks ever work. The only time sneak attacks ever work is like, oh, and one more thing. Grand Theft Auto 6 available today. Like sneak attacks don't really work. And Oculus does the sneak attack thing all the time. And they'll put something out on Quest and never tell you that it's coming to Rift. And then like 2 weeks later, it's out on Rift and they never make an announcement about it. It is the weirdest thing. Like, I don't get it. I guess I don't know what they're doing over there from a marketing standpoint. Oculus hates me, by the way, too. I talk more shit about their strategies than anybody that you'll ever know, right? All right, guys. Well, guess what? I am starving. I am starving like mad right now. I am hungry as hell. It is 7:23 p.m. according to my clock right here, and that means I need dinner. I need dinner like a mofo. And so I am going to have to bounce out of here. But I did want to do this show just to kind of cover some positives and some negatives about the Oculus Quest 2. Also, I'm not triggered anymore, man. I've chilled out. I'm calm. I'm relaxed. Like I'm on the beach. I've got my feet in the sand and, beautiful warm water is slowly moving back. I'm like on the beach on Zing the Land Beyond. I'm like chill. Like I've chilled out like a mofo. I'm not triggered anymore because it's not the Quest 2. It's not the Quest 2, man. It's Quest 1.5 in sheep's clothing, bro. So there's no need to cry. My Quest 1, it's not obsolete. It's perfectly fine. So it's all gravy. It's all gizzies in the hizzies. So there's nothing to worry about. But yeah, we will be talking a lot more about these subjects. We're also definitely going to get into the discussion about the Oculus Rift. We're going to talk about the Oculus Rift, the death of the Oculus Rift. Here's a question that I have, and we're going to talk about this on Sunday. My question is, Stormland, Asgard's Wrath, Lone Echo 2, Medal of Honor. In the year 2024, am I going to be able to fire up Oculus on my CV1 and play that? Or is that going to be impossible? That's a question, Johnny. That is a question. And we're going to talk about it when all the VR Roundtable crew is here on Sunday, and Guy Godin is going to impersonate Steve Bishop. Guy Godin, do you have a mansion like Steve Bishop does? Dude, Steve Bishop on MRTV's show, did you see his background? Dude could have a bowling alley up in there. Like, straight up. He could have a bowling alley. Like, it was his basement was like forever with beautiful hardwood floors. Steve, I'm coming to Kentucky and I want a bowl. Do you have a private bowling lane up in there? So Guy Godin will be impersonating Steve Bishop, and we are going to have a crew of 4 people, and we are going to chop it up. 9 a.m. Pacific time. We'll be talking Quest 2. We'll be talking all these new game announcements. We'll be talking about the death of the Rift as we know it. We're going to talk about like PC VR, can Steam carry PC VR all by their loan? Like, how does this, what does this do to the entire ecosystem of everything? This is some strange days, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get into that. That will be Sunday. But I got to bounce out of here. I'm starving like Marvin. And I will see everybody on Sunday. So everybody have a good one. Remember. Simba, remember, if you want to pre-order an Oculus Quest 1.5, go to the description. I have a $299 version and a $399 version. I've got an Amazon affiliate link. It only works in the good old US of A. It sucks how Amazon, it might work in Canada and Mexico. I'm not sure. It might be like a North American thing. I can't remember, but I think it only works in the US of A. So if you're in the UK, if you're in Germany like MRTV, don't trip, brah. Don't worry about it. But if you are in the USA and you really do want to pre-order one of these babies from Amazon, might as well give me a couple of pennies. Use one of those links. Make me feel good about it. All right, that's going to do it. I'll see everybody next time. Take it easy, bros. Later.